And I don't want to like scare anybody, but it's a game about becoming a pigeon. And it looks like you're doing the mayhem around town. This is the Andy B Show. It's a video game podcast for adult gamers. I'm so glad you're here. We've got a banger of a show for you today. This is episode 25 of the Andy B Show for Monday, November 10th. Let's get it going. We've got massive industry news that we're going to cover, including Rockstar's controversial union-busting allegations, GTA 6's latest delay. Do you think they're related? Some exciting updates to your gaming backlog. Sony's Portal transformation into a real handheld, like real and actual. The death of gaming exclusives. Maybe. And some wild developer insights from the Ball Pit creator. Just a couple of quotes that, if I don't share them with you, I feel like I'd be doing everyone a disservice. Yeah. Let's get into it. I've been playing some video games this week, and maybe you have too. The game I'd like to talk to you about first is Arc Raiders. I know we did a whole show last week about Arc Raiders, episode 24, called Arc Raiders is Beating the Allegations. What allegations? The allegations that they're using AI in the development process and cutting out humans. I don't know if anybody's actually leveling those full allegations, but you are hearing that in a lot of areas of the industry where folks are getting a little bit worried that there's way too much going on with AI and AI-assisted development, and they're cutting out the creative process, not just alleviating toil. We covered that whole thing in depth last episode, but I've just played a little bit more. I streamed some on the YouTubes, youtube.com. You can find me out there if you search for the Andy B Show. That's been pretty fun. Thanks for watching and commenting on those videos and sharing them. I got some clips I need to pull out of those and share them, but I haven't really done that too much yet. So it's a fun game. It is an intense game. It's the kind of game that your heart rate spikes up on because as an extraction shooter, and I am not an extraction shooter expert. Couldn't be me. It's never been me. It might be me if I play this enough. But in that game, you're fighting against the computer opponents, which are all AI robots, not the development assistance AI robots. Well, look, I don't know. There's a story there, and I haven't figured it all out. It's going to take a while, maybe 10 years, they say, to uncover all of the story in Arc Raiders. But I've been queuing up as a solo raider, and I can take out the small little drones pretty easily with my little pea shooter starter weapons. But if I get involved against any other human opponent, all bets are off. And that's the thing, is that there's no bets you can count on. That game is full PvP multiplayer enabled at all times. So anybody you come across is like, well, they could be bad for me. It's possible that they will try and kill me and take my loot. But the loot I have is not really worth capturing. Like, is it really a problem? You know? So it's been good. It's been, the sound design in that game is so good. You go up from the bottom of the earth to the top where there's a safe city. And, everybody that's down in the city is buddy-buddy. Everybody's just, we all get along. We all take our little missions. We all feed our little roosters that go gather resources for us. But as soon as we get up to the surface, like, all bets are off, and anybody can kill anybody and take their stuff. And what's the benefit of taking the stuff if you don't have high level gear? Like, I don't know. And maybe that's why so far everybody is pretty friendly. It seems like, because I'm a low level, I'm probably getting matched with people that are low level. I don't know, but I haven't come across anybody that wanted to fight yet, except for the robots. But I'm seeing some videos out there. It's creating some of that cool social content because you have proximity chat. You could talk to the people that are out there, and you could say, "Hey, man, like, are you friendly?" They have good emote systems in there to kind of, if you don't want to talk, you don't want to get on the mic, you can kind of say what you need to say. You could say hello. You could say, "Don't shoot." You could say things like that. But if you want to say anything, if you really want to mess with somebody or turn, traitor on them, you want to have that mic open to kind of say whatever you want to say, I think. Anyway, that's been fun. I've been playing some of that this week. Definitely going to be playing more of it and probably streaming more of it. For me, the stream forces me to get out there. The Arc Raider menus are so good. The music is so good. I guess the composer just got on Threads. I just saw him post for the first time. It's got this like vaporwave vibe to the music. It's very like Blade Runner-esque, a lot of like ethereal, like it's cool music. And they have cool ambient sounds of the little city. You can't walk around the city. It's not like a Destiny tower, which I wish that it was, I think. I'd like to be able to pop around the menus real fast, but the tower in Destiny was a great place to show off the loot that you would gather, to the outfits that you had unlocked or paid for in the store. And there's no tower. You only see what other people have when you catch them out in the wild and loot it off their dead body. Or, just, "Hi, don't shoot." And then you get to walk up and say hello. Or whatever you want. But there's no tower to it. There's just a series of menus in the city, and it would be nice if there was some type of a social space. Yeah. I'm going to play a lot more. But yeah, when I live stream it, though, I can't just sit in the tower and listen to the little ambient sounds and the rain that's falling down the whatever waterways are reaching the, the underneath, the underground city. It's actually it's a great series of menus and music to phone to. I listen to this online radio station. It's actually a service that's supposed to be for people that have like ADHD called Brain FM. They're not sponsoring the show. I don't have an affiliate link for them yet. Maybe someday. But they have this just super cool music, and there's no lyrics in it on purpose. And it's designed to just kind of like let you focus and give you these like, frequencies and waves on top of the music. But the music itself is pretty good. Like you could just, if you wanted to listen to focus music, and that's how I got through college, just listening to like trance music, which is like house, progressive beats, that you might go dance to for 4 hours at a time, is something you can just kind of zone out to and focus on something else. So it just, all the little parts of my brain that want to focus on anything but the work in front of me or the study at that time in front of me, you'd put on that music, and eventually you'd quiet those other pieces down, and then you could kind of focus on what you need to focus on. It was great. And those menus that are in I want to keep wanting to say Sapienza. It's like Speranza in Arc Raiders, man. You could just zone out to those. I could scroll on Threads for an hour, listen to that music. But if I'm live streaming, I feel like I need to entertain and kind of move things along. So it's like, okay, fix your gear, get out of here. Like, let's go, and get up to the surface and do another run. So I think that's going to push me to do that. I think that's going to be what I need to keep going up there. I did play one other game this week. It's a game that just released. It's been around for 4 years. I think it launched 4 years ago because I went and found the full release trailer for Tabs, or Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. It just released on PlayStation Plus. Not Game Catalog. It was a free game this month. So if you subscribe to any level of PlayStation Plus, you got this game for free. And it is, I don't know what the rest of the game is like. I just know what the local multiplayer was like. I was playing with my youngest daughter, and it sets you up where you get a certain amount of funds, and then you can pick any one of the little woobles, whatever they call the little characters that fight. in the game. It's very cartoony. It's very polygonal, low poly. So it intentionally looks kind of goofy. And you pull these warriors together and you can pick pirates as a theme. And they have like 6 different pirate units, or Wild West, or good or evil. And you pick these different units. So if you have Vikings, like you'd have some axemen and you have some spearmen. You maybe have somebody with a crossbow or a bow. If you pick pirates, they've got some cannon units in the back. If you pick medieval, you might have some horsemen and some folks on a woolly mammoth or something. If you pick something from the prehistoric era, so you spend the money filling out your army, and then the other person does the same thing on the other half of the screen, and then you click fight, and then it's kind of hands off. Like it's like hands up, hand check. Because there's nothing you could do to influence the battle once it starts. The positioning of your characters and their characters and the types that you picked influences how the battle's going to go. So the very first battle that we did, my youngest daughter picked a good mix of characters. I paid no attention to what she was building in multiplayer, and I just picked like 8 woolly mammoths or however many that I could pick. And my woolly mammoth, I was like, oh, she's going to get steamrolled. I just got a whole team of woolly mammoths and she's just got a bunch of archers. Well, guess what? The multiplayer map we were on had a choke point in the middle and only one mammoth could go at a time. And all the archers were like, lighten it up, and took out one mammoth at a time and then another one and another one. And she won the fight. And I was like, well, I did not. Okay. Like, here we go. The second fight, I'm going to get more strategic. Second fight, picked a bunch of pirate stuff, put the cannons on the sides to kind of like shoot into the choke point, and put pistol archers, pistol pirates kind of in the middle. She ended up with something else that I had never seen from the good and evil, like angelic and like demon side. She had a bunch of like little, kind of, again, goofy, low poly characters fighting, and she beat me a second match, and then she beat me a third match. I was like, what is happening? The third match, though, ended very close. We were down to 1 character each, and hers had this big volley of arrows, right as mine, which was like some time-stopping demigod. Didn't quite get that last attack off. That's a cool game. I mean, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, or TABS for short, has been around for a while. I just never played it, but it just became one of the free games this month on PlayStation Plus, and I'm like, yes, I will play more of this stupid game. It's real dumb. It's real dumb. But there's a little bit of strategy to it. It's fun to watch. It's fun to see them all fight in fast motion, and then you can slow it down in slow motion. I don't know if it'll do replays, but it's the kind of game where you would want to take some slow motion video. So maybe I'll record some or stream some and chop it up for fun, but that sounds like a lot of work. Probably not going to do that. Yeah. So those are the games I've been playing this week. I'll probably play a little bit more, but we'll see. We'll see what I can get to. I feel like I'm going to be doing mobile gaming, if anything, over the next week, until later in the week. I'll probably come back and stream some Arc Raiders late in the week. Maybe kind of get back into the gaming groove, but it's going to be a busy work week for me from the time you're listening to this to the time I start streaming anything else. Yeah, that's what I've been playing. Hey, I mentioned we got a lot of quick news updates. We got a couple of longer stories to get into. But first, go to the Patreon, patreon.com/TheAndyB Show. I had a good friend, somebody I consider a friend, that runs this account on Threads called the Podcasting Business School. And they were so nice. This is a guy that's been doing he's got 1 million downloads of his multiple podcasts, and he does consulting for other podcasters on the side now. So he still does his health and wellness podcast, but then his business now is also, helping other podcasters get going. And I've got 25 episodes under my belt on this show now, plus exclusive episodes on Patreon. But I've learned a lot from him, and I still have a long way to go to making the best show possible for you. But he has great tips. He had 3,400 followers on Threads. He sent out an email to his newsletter, his subscribers, of which I am one. He said, hey, for some unknown reason, they killed my account over on Threads. No explanation. A bot killed the account. And then when he appealed, a bot reviewed the appeal and said, no, we affirm the first, AI machine learning algorithm bot's decision that we think so they'd requested that he take a picture and upload some evidence of him speaking to confirm it's a human. They're like, we think you're a bot for some reason. And the only thing I could think is he is like a ruthlessly expert poster. He says, he's the kind of guy that sets aside time in his day. He doesn't work a traditional job anymore. He's been podcasting and doing this for so long. Like he's like an independent, consultant and podcaster. So he doesn't work like a 9 to 5 like I do, where I podcast in the margins. I'm usually recording the show the day before it launches. I'm usually recording on Sunday, and then you hear it Monday. And then I'll chop up clips and stuff throughout the week, to keep it interesting and to hopefully have my content find some new listeners. And if I'm streaming video games, I'm doing it like late at night after the kids have gone to bed. Why? Because I got a 9 to 5 and these kids need to eat. But this guy regularly schedules exactly the times he needs to go post online. He's like, I got 2 hours for social media today. And that's when he posts. And I'm like, I'm wondering if his regimented behavior set off the alarms at Meta that they think he's a bot. But anyway, so he's appealing and he's, writing Facebook. He's frustrated. He's trying to get a hold of Zuckerberg, see if he can get it fixed. Well, guess what? He's got 3,400 or 5,000 or whatever people on his email list as well. So he was still able to communicate, let people know where his backup account was. And that's a platform that he owns, right? And the same is true with my Patreon, patreon.com/theandyb show. If you like this show, if you like anything I've ever put out, and you want to keep up with me over the years, including if platforms change their mind with no human intervention at all, they delete my account, they remove me. If you go to the Patreon, now that might happen to Patreon, but Patreon allows me to own the email list. So if you go to patreon.com/theandyb show, you sign up for the Gaming 411 newsletter, which you get for free every week. I write it by hand. Actually, I write it by voice nowadays, but that's neither here nor there. It's me, not a prompt in AI that shows up and gives you a newsletter from hell. Like it's from me. That way you can stay with me. Even if I get pushed off of Threads or pushed off of YouTube or someplace else, I'll still have, a connection to email. So go there and join. It's free to join. And that way you'll never miss where I'm coming from. So please do that. But you will get for free the Gaming 411 newsletter. You can sign up and be a friend of the show to support it financially, offset some of these costs I've got to keep the show running, and also get some exclusive podcast episodes and posts. So go check it out. Thanks for listening to my plea to not let these algorithms keep us away from each other. You know what I mean? All right. We got a bunch of quick news updates. Xbox Game Pass has once again let us know that they have games coming soon. They always say this, and it always drives me nuts. Coming soon. Thanks for letting me know it's coming soon. They got a bunch coming soon, and some dates. But I'm not going to read you all the dates. I'm just going to show you this picture of all the games that are coming soon. If you're watching the video version of this show, you're going to see the picture. If you're listening to the audio version of this show, I'm going to paint the picture in your mind. Coming soon to Xbox Game Pass. I'm going to bounce around. Soon, Call of Duty, Black Ops 7, Ultimate only. Some game called Winterborough, which looks like a survival game by a hand-drawn mouse character. Something called Dead Static Drive, which looks like a game that's a little bit late for Halloween. A game called Egging On, which has an art cover of a chicken throwing an egg. Maybe that's like a multiplayer chicken fighting game. I'm going to skip a game and come back to it. Whiskerwood is in game preview. I don't know what that is. It looks like cats and rats. There's a lot of like mice and cats and rats. There's a lot of small animals in the games coming out this month. You got something called Void Train, Great God Grove, Relic Hunters Legend, Lara Croft, Temple of Osiris, Sniper Elite Resistance. None of that stuff matters. The game that I would like to tell you about that's coming soon to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is called Pigeon Simulator. I couldn't believe Pigeon Simulator? We've had Goat Simulator, including Goat Simulator 3. You better buckle up for Pigeon Simulator. It's coming November 11th to Game Pass. And I don't want to like scare anybody, but it's a game about becoming a pigeon. And it looks like you're doing the mayhem around town. Never heard of this one, never seen it before, but Pigeon Simulator, if I was on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, that's what I'd be playing. Speaking of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, I'm going to say allegedly. This ad looks pretty accurate, but I'm going to still say allegedly. There's an Xbox Game Pass ad mocking physical video game collectors. That was the headline on this like Threads post that I saw. You're seeing somebody that's like looking, sitting on a big stack of games in a dark room, waiting for his game to get delivered to him. So I actually think it's less of like a physical game collector that they're making fun of, and more of, because it comes through the game slot, somebody shows a video game through like the mail slot, or as the British say, the post. And then they get excited when it comes in, which is more like making fun of GameFly. But GameFly seems like such a small business in comparison to Xbox Game Pass. Like, why would they be punching down on GameFly? So I kind of agree with the premise of the Threads poster that posted this. Gaming BO3GG said, Xbox Game Pass ad mocks physical game collectors, showing them as gremlins, then promoting digital play. But fans aren't laughing. YouTube comments call it disrespectful and say Xbox is pushing players to PS5. Maybe. Could be. I mean, anytime you're lashing out negatively, you're doing one of two things. You're either losing or you're Sega in the 90s and it's freaking awesome. But there's not too many like game companies that are really, it's weird to have Xbox swinging at anybody when most of the talk from Sarah Bond, the Xbox exec, is about like, oh, multi-platform is, is the way of the future. There's no more console war. Kumbaya. Aren't we all going to get along? So to put out like an ad that kind of goes like, we think physical games are dumb and you're dumb if you like them, and you're a weird loser sitting in your dark room just working on your Zit collection while you wait for the next video game to get delivered to you in physical form, is weird. Like, why are you fighting with these people? I mean, aside from the obvious that you don't want to produce any disc-based games, and you haven't wanted to since Don Matrick got out on stage and introduced the Xbox One. Aside from that decade-plus history, it doesn't make sense. Speaking of things that aren't going to be using physical games at all, the Sony PlayStation Portable, PlayStation Portal, not portable, cloud streaming officially arrives on PlayStation Portal today. So if you're a PlayStation Premium member, which is like their highest tier, I think in the US it's like $160 a year, you can stream select digital PS5 games that are in your library. So if you are somebody that loves physical games and want to stream it in the cloud, I think maybe Xbox does that, actually. But there's going to be a selection of digital games that you must own or can own, and then you can stream them in the cloud. So that's a big deal because it means that you're not having to stream them off your PS5. You're going to be streaming them right off the PlayStation cloud servers, which, if they've got, they're going to have better zone distribution across whatever geographic area you're in, without having to actually boot up your PlayStation 5. So that's cool. My local Costco has the Sony PlayStation portals like sitting there. They're like pushing it. They're ready for the holidays. Holiday seasons are coming. And my youngest daughter is like, Dad, we got to get one of these. But she thinks it's like a Nintendo Switch. And I'm kind of going like, none of the games are on here, baby. Like you can't just play the game. You can't just pop in the cartridge or download the game to it. You got to stream it. So you always need Wi-Fi. She's like, sounds great. Where do we go that there isn't Wi-Fi? Solid point. Really appreciate that. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I don't know. So, but now with cloud streaming too, like you can have Wi-Fi, but then you don't even have to have the PlayStation on. It's nice update. Nice update. Quick word from our affiliate, Wispr Flow. Imagine you didn't have to type all the time. What would that be like? What if you could use your voice, not your hands? Save your hands for gaming. Use Wispr Flow. You can use your voice like I'm doing right now with you, except all you have to do is press and hold the function or control key in your keyboard if you're on your work or home computer, or start Wispr Flow right there on your iOS phone. It's an app I use all the time, and I can dictate and talk like I'm talking to you right now, and Wispr Flow will turn it into beautifully formatted text. You can even do coding with it. It'll understand, if you're using Windsurf, VS Code, Cursor, it works with all of those as well. And that way you can code as fast as you can talk, not just type, which is pretty amazing. So the built-in microphone that's on your Mac or Windows PC is not good enough without Wispr Flow. That's my opinion. I'm going to give you the current stats on how often I use Wispr Flow. I'm at 9 weeks of using it right now. I've dictated 43,754 words across 48 apps, because it works in everything, at 140 words per minute, 141 words per minute. The average typer types at about 40 to 60 words per minute. So I'm almost 2.5 times that, depending on where almost over 3 times it, 4 times almost. So check out Wispr Flow. You can go to the link in the show notes and you get 2 weeks free of Pro. But even if you don't use Pro, you get 2,000 words dictated per week. You can tell that I use way more than that. I'm a power user on this. I use it at home on the mobile. The biggest speed gains are on the mobile phone, because I can't use the microphone on the mobile phone at all. Just tapping that mic in the iOS keyboard is terrible. It's terrible. It gets names wrong, gets everything wrong. Wispr Flow has a dictionary. It learns automatically. And then also you could tell it certain words to learn on purpose, but most of it picks it up automatically. If you ever have to correct somebody's like proper noun name or the name of a service or a product or something, it figures out. It's like, oh, got it. Yeah, I see what you mean now, and it learns. And so that's the biggest like gain from it takes me forever to type by hand to I can speak and get it down faster than I could ever type in a mobile phone. Proportionally, it's not as fast on like the work laptop. I'm a pretty fast typer, but the volume of typing that I would have to do in a day, now that I can just use my voice, is amazing. I'm also known in meetings now to put up my little notebook in front of my microphone. I'll mute myself on the Zoom call, but I'll let Wispr Flow still hear my mic, and so I'll look like one of those NFL coaches where I cover my mouth so nobody can see that I'm typing with my mouth using Wispr Flow. Check it out. It's an affiliate link. So if you end up subscribing, I get a little cut of that if you pay money to them for free or for the Pro subscription. But you can just use it for free and get 2,000 words a week. And I only would recommend something to you that I use. So I hope you check it out. Wispr Flow. Yeah. Thank you. Let's take a quick break. Be right back. And we are back. Got a couple of gaming stories for you. We gotta cut some content off of this podcast to end it on time for me tonight. I'm recording this late at night after the kids are in bed. Normally I'm recording this during the day, like I said, on a Sunday. And just for various reasons, this is a late night recording. So if I sound any different, I guess that could be why. Let me know. Try to keep the energy high. Speaking of keeping the energy high, reportedly by Game Informer reporting, Grand Theft Auto 6 developer Rockstar Games accused of union busting after layoffs. What? This is by Wesley LeBlanc. And he wrote, last week, Grand Theft Auto 6 developer Rockstar Games laid off 30 to 40 people across its various offices in the UK and Canada, citing, quote, gross misconduct. However, the Independent Workers Union of Great Britain, the IWGB, said these firings were a union-busting effort, noting the affected employees were part of a private union Discord chat and were either already union members or were attempting to organize one at Rockstar. Bloomberg is reporting that Rockstar says the employees it fired last week were let go for leaking confidential information, and they told Bloomberg, last week we took action against a small number of individuals who were found to be distributing and discussing confidential information in a public forum, a violation of company policies. This is in no way related to people's right to a union or union activities. You buying that? I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't think so. In totally unrelated news, Grand Theft Auto 6 has been delayed to November 19th, 2026. Unrelated? 30 to 40 people that they laid off. How many people are working on Grand Theft Auto 6? Like on average. How many people are we talking about? Is it 10% of their studio? They got 400 people working on it? Like, I kind of want to look it up. I kind of want to ask. Let me use Wispr Flow to ask live on the show. You ready? How many developers are working on Grand Theft Auto 6? It's just that fast, folks. It's not that fast. I can say it faster than I can get a response back, thanks to all the AI stuff they have plugged in every search engine in the world right now. Yeah. According to Tech for Gamers, based on recent reports, approximately, are you ready for this? 6,000 developers are working on Grand Theft Auto 6 across 10 Rockstar Games studios worldwide. It's over double the team size that worked on Red Dead Redemption 2, which at its peak had around 1,600 developers. Wow. So let me help you. The 30 or 40 that they let go for leaking information, not at all for forming a union. I'm sure that's right. They said it, so it must be right. That's not why this game is delayed. They weren't the linchpin. If there's 6,000 people working on it, that's less than 1%. It's not even a problem. They just say, hey, they need additional polish. So we'll see not in May 2020. It's safe to release a game in May and June and July. We have had a heck of a gaming summer in 2025. The Switch 2 came out, just a ton of new games. I mean, nowhere near caught up on these games. I haven't beaten Clear Obscure, the new Doom, the old Doom. It's hard to keep up. As an adult gamer that's busy, you have to pick and choose. And then they keep coming out with new games like Arc Raiders. Anyway, the point is, another gaming summer without Grand Theft Auto 6. Yeah. That's a big deal. I promised to read some of these wild ball pit quotes. And so I'm going to. I don't just want to move on and rush past it if I made a promise. Stephen Totillo, the internet's Stephen Totillo, who's a reporter about gaming news, who writes at gamefile.news, filed this article. The Ball X Pit X interview, or a ball pit interview. Nice one, Steven. He said GTA 6 was delayed today, but that's not as important as a ball pit interview, right? Correct. Absolutely correct, Steven. You've noted it correctly. Here's a couple of, you need to read this article. You can just go to gamefile.news/p/Paul X Pit X interview. You can just search for Steven Totillo ball pit. It'll pop up. The Brooklyn-based games lead developer Kenny Sun said a number of things that he thought was great, that I think is great too. Here we go. Here's a question that Steven asked. He said, "Is there such a thing as playing ball pit well versus playing it poorly? Like, what's the skill ceiling on this one?" And Kenny said, "I think there's a bit of a skill curve, but it plateaus pretty quickly. Once you get it, there's not much you can do to improve your play. So it's very much a game about pretending you're getting better by getting better stats, actually." Yeah, that game, I think I probably spent 15, 20 hours in that game. I got to the new game plus. It's still fun. But yeah, like once you kind of figure out like how to aim the balls, then what ends up happening is it's the combination of skills that creates some excitement. It's which characters that I pick plus which skills that I pick up along the way that helps me like blow past and overpower the game. And then sure enough, like this is what he said later. He says, "I like the idea of having the game start off as one thing and then slowly evolve into like an idle game. So the more you play, the less you play. Because there's even characters that choose their own upgrades. There's one character near the end that chooses his own upgrades and plays the game. So when you pick him, you just pull out the phone and play, you read this article. You listen to the show and you play a different game on your phone while that character plays the game, which is silly. But I did it. I let that character play. And he says, yeah, we just thought it was funny. So that game is funny. It's got funny ideas. It was a cool interview. Cool article. I like that. Okay. It is time. It's going to be a brief segment, but we do have to show it because it's time for me to say the words to you. I should really get back to that game. We have a new entry down here at the bottom. This is tabs. Oh, hold on a second. I'm in the wrong thing. Let me switch over to the correct account so that I can actually edit this stupid spreadsheet. This is a spreadsheet that's out there in public, but here we go. I should really get back to that game. I'm the only one that can edit it. Only when I'm logged into the correct account. Tabs, the totally accurate battle simulator. Did not use Wispr Flow for that one. Yeah, this is a new. We got 20 games on this list now. Those are games that we've either heard about, or that I'm actively playing, or I was playing and maybe I've stopped. I'm really likely to play some more of this game. Probably more likely than Ball Pit. And let me see if there's any other changes. Oh, I actually did play some Ghost of Tsushima this week. Made some progress on it. I don't know if I could beat this. I'm going to have to mainline that game before the end of the year. I'm really likely to play Ghost of Tsushima and keep working on it. And are there any other changes I want to make to this list this week? I'm going to read out the top 5 here in a minute. The bottom game on this list is Animal Crossing New Horizons. We added it at the bottom last week. My family plays the game more than I play the game, so it's probably going to stay there. We'll see. The top 5 games I'm most likely to play next on the list called, I should really get back to that game. Number 5, it's Ball Pit. I completed that game, but I'm probably going to keep messing with it. I want to do a couple more streams. I actually had a lot of people engage with the live streams after the fact, the video on demand version. People were watching it a lot. And so I want to create some more of that content. Give the people what they want, you know? Number 4, tabs, the totally accurate battle simulator. Number 3 is Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 is good. It's real good. I'm likely to play it when the friends are online. Number 2 is Ghost of Tsushima. Number 1 is Arc Raiders from out of nowhere. Gonna keep playing Arc Raiders. We're moving on to Community Spotlight. I'd like to thank listeners in the country that have listened to my show every week until I run out of countries or listeners. And then maybe I'll do something else to kick off the Community Spotlight segment. But based on Spotify stats of anybody listening on the podcast version of the podcast, not the YouTube version, same podcast, just one of them is more audio focused, though Spotify actually does have the video show as well. Just 0.1% of my listeners are out there in Malaysia. It's like one guy or gal. So thank you. If you're out there listening in Malaysia, share the show. I'd love to see that get to 0.2% of my listeners. Not even joking. Like, share the show with somebody you know out there in Malaysia. Thank you. I'd like to go look up a little fun fact about video games in these countries, though. So here's a fun fact about video games in Malaysia that you might appreciate. So Malaysia is home to, this is from Wikipedia, Lemon Sky Studios, one of the most prolific game development studios in Southeast Asia, and they've contributed art and animation work to some pretty big AAA game titles such as Street Fighter 6, Cyberpunk 2077, Elden Ring, and apparently Death Stranding, among others. Malaysian studios have quietly been helping create many of the games players worldwide love, making the country a behind-the-scenes powerhouse. And we mentioned earlier, there's 6,000 people working on Grand Theft Auto 6. I bet some of them are in Malaysia. It could be. Yeah. We had a ton of community feedback coming in on suppression mechanics in Battlefield 6. My clip I put out there about that from the show last week, about just there's this moment in Arc Raiders where you're down but not out. You get shot and you're crawling around. You can't really do anything else, but your character can reach up and slam their hand on the keyboard to extract. That video got a lot of comments. That's apparently like a really popular, but I've had a time to read them all to you. Go follow me on Threads, andrew.m.b, if you'd like to see more. I'm posting these clips in there. People are reacting to them. Thank you for checking those out. Another reminder, go to the Patreon. As I mentioned, if we ever get disconnected and you're on the Patreon, that's the fallback. So go to the patreon.com/the Show to join for free, get the Gaming 411 newsletter for free, and then let's never get disconnected. You know, follow me where you'd like, but join there as the fallback. Thanks for listening to the show. I really appreciate you. Can't wait to see you next week. Let me know what you're playing if you're out there. And if you're playing Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, let me know what it's going to take to beat my youngest daughter. Like, I can't, she's whooping me. I need some help. Give me some tips on tabs. Good to see you. Thanks for listening. Bye.